If you're confused about the differences between WordPress.com and WordPress.org and which one you should choose for starting your very own website, I'm going to answer all of your questions in this video. Hey, I'm Matt from Online Business Tech, where I do reviews and tutorials on the tech that you use in your online business. So in order to understand the differences between WordPress.com and WordPress.org, you need to understand what WordPress is to begin with, and you need to understand some basics about how websites work in general. So to put it simply, WordPress is a free open source software that you can use to build a website. So back in the old days of web design, you'd literally create a website inside of a text editor using HTML or some other programming language. And that HTML file would then be saved on a web server, also known as a web host, and people could view your website by going to your domain, and that HTML file would be read by the browser and your website would be shown. But as time went by, people wanted an easier way to build and edit their websites, so that is when content management systems like WordPress were invented. So a content management system provides an easy-to-use interface to customize the look of your website, change settings, add and edit content, all without having to know any computer code. So it makes the entire process of starting and managing a website a lot easier. So basically, if you know how to use Facebook, then you can definitely figure out how to use WordPress. It's really very user-friendly, even if you're not really that tech savvy, so don't feel intimidated by WordPress. Now, WordPress isn't the only content management system out there, but it is the most popular on the entire internet. So by some estimates, WordPress powers 37% of all websites, like literally all websites. But there are some other content management systems such as Joomla and Drupal, but they're not nearly as popular. Now, technically, sites like Squarespace, Wix, Shopify, and Weebly are all content management systems too, but the key difference is that their platforms are not open source, so you have to pay for their specific web hosting in order to build a website using their platform. And because of that, you're more likely going to be paying a premium price to use those platforms. All right, so that brings us back to the question, what's the difference between WordPress.org and WordPress.com? Well, WordPress.org is the site that has all of the technical documentation and updates about the WordPress platform. It includes a download link to the WordPress installation files, as well as a repository for a bunch of themes and plugins that you can use to customize your specific WordPress installation. Now, WordPress.com, on the other hand, is just one of many web hosts that enable you to use the WordPress platform to build a website. I say one of many because literally like every web host out there enables you to install WordPress on your server and build a WordPress website. Because again, WordPress is open source and it's free, so you can install it on any web host that you'd like. So whether you're getting web hosting from Bluehost or HostGator or InMotion or SiteGround, you can install WordPress on it. And the cool thing is you don't even need to download the WordPress platform from WordPress.org and then upload it to your web host, because all of these web hosts literally have like a one-click WordPress installer built right into their platform, so it's super simple to get going. All right, so why wouldn't you want to use WordPress.com as your web host? Well, most people consider WordPress.com because they see that they have an option to create a free website. That's one of their plans. They have a free plan. So you might think, why would I pay for hosting somewhere else when I can just create a free WordPress site on WordPress.com? Well, the problem is the free website plan is extremely limited. You can't use your own domain. So like instead of onlinebusinesstech.com, it would have to be like onlinebusinesstech.wordpress.com, which you really want to have your own domain when you're launching your website. You can't create any email addresses, you can't use any custom themes, and you can't install plugins. Now, plugins are one of the most valuable features of the WordPress platform. There's a huge community of WordPress developers that have created all sorts of plugins that you can install on your website to give it some custom functionality. So there's things like plugins for contact forms, e-commerce, membership sites, email marketing, custom calculators, and a whole lot more. There's thousands of plugins, and most of them are free, and you can install them on your website. So the biggest drawback to WordPress.com is that the version of WordPress you get to use is extremely limited. And in fact, if you look at their paid plans, the cheapest one that actually gives you the full functionality of the WordPress platform is the business plan that costs $25 a month, which is way more than you'd spend if instead you went with a web host like Bluehost. So with Bluehost, you can get hosting with a free domain name included for the first year. So that's, your onlinebusinesstech.com, your domain. You can get 1 free year of a domain included with your hosting for only $3.95 a month. And that's the cool thing about, the open source and, competition, because you have all of these different web hosts competing for your business, which drives down prices. So I think WordPress.com charges so much because, they know people, some people are just gonna go with WordPress.com because they feel more trustworthy, because it's like the official site or something like that, but it's really not worth it. There are a ton of web hosts out there to choose from that are really affordable. I've linked a few of them in the description below, but if you're getting ready to build your very first website, I would definitely recommend Bluehost. They've been around forever. I've used them for many, many years, and they are really great for getting started. And one of the great things about using WordPress is that you can always back up your website and move it to a new host down the road if you ever wanted to. Unlike Squarespace or Wix, where you are essentially stuck with their platform forever. So if you're interested in building a WordPress site on Bluehost, you can use my affiliate link in the description below or go to onlinebusinesstech.com/Bluehost to get started. So that's all I have for you today in this video. I just want to say, if you're building your very first website, congratulations. It's always exciting. I really love seeing people build their very first website. So good luck, congratulations, and that's it. So I will see you in the next video.